So it's a 2-0 win over Carlton Town today. Not the most glamorous game we'll ever watch, but what did you think of that performance?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was the conditions played a part in that. Brilliant by the club and the ground staff to get the game on. A lot of getting games off in this area. There were no standing water. There weren't really any heaviness. It was just obviously because not a chance to get on it. It was a lively pitch, which made it difficult to play any football. And then the wind played a part in it, quite down the pitch, away from the clubhouse, and then it started to swirl and then the rain kicked in, so that played a part in it. So we just had to be effective today, and that's just what I wanted the lads to be effective, obviously play the opposition, the conditions. Carlton came here, set up really compact, really narrow, really hard to beat, trying to get something out of it, and credit to them. We've took 6 points off in the two games we've played, but we haven't played scintillating or dominant football, but we've been very effective in both games. That's really important, that's why we're doing well. First half, I think that we tested the keeper, got into positions and complicated it when today he didn't need to, and he had one shot with the wind, and I was disappointed with that. We played a little bit narrow, which didn't stretch them. Second half, we changed it a little bit to stretch them and give us some width, and it worked. It took a little bit of time to work, but we were able to use the wind against us to our advantage. And then Lewis has been absolutely brilliant for us, and he's been a revelation since he stepped up three levels. But we're just trying to get him to decision make when to try and beat more than one man or beat him twice. And for the first goal, Kurt's put into that space, what we talked about. He's beaten man once rather than beating him again. He's crossed it. If he's got come off the line and attacked it, and then Tucker's not going to miss from 12 yards with his quality. The second one, obviously we defended, they threw a lot forward, but we were able to have impact on the subs, and I think that's a real strength of ours now, the strength in depth. I thought Luke Rawson was excellent when he came on. I thought Dylan caused problems as well, and that's where the goal came from, and then we counter-attacked. Rawson and Dylan looked after it. Kurt joined in, and I thought Kurt was excellent again today. Great pass, quick pass to Lewis, and Lewis had a good touch. Beat his man with amateur and beat him again to get closer, just hit it early, and we kept it alive, and Kurt composed finish. So the goals are really good, what we talked about, so it's credit to the players. And then we defended his goal. Road has looked a couple of times, we let the ball bounce, but I think the conditions then didn't help it. But just said to him there, that's a massive win, it's a big win. And the most important thing why we got that win is the clean sheet. Clean sheets get you where we are. You can, like us, average only to concede one goal a game. You're not going to lose many football matches, and that's what we've done. I said to him before the game that in regulation 90, the 32 games we've played, we've only lost 6 games, and that's like over 80% undefeated in games, and it's a huge compliment to them. And if they do that now in these last 17, now 16, they're going to be in those playoffs. So I'm really pleased with the result. Performance could be better, but the conditions, the opposition made it really hard to play, and we made sure we were effective and got 3 points.
So that first half was honestly one of the dullest bits of football we've seen probably all season. How did you try and talk to lads at half time and then in the second half to liven it up and try and crack open this Carlton defence, which was very solid today?
Yeah, trying to keep it very constructive. I was frustrated. I said positive, clean sheet, positive. I think we'll play better against the Winks, how we want to play with our front three. I just said about that they were very narrow, we hadn't stretched them, we hadn't moved them about, we went too straight, we tried to play through midfield when there was no space. So I just changed it that when the ball was on one side, the opposite wide attacker stayed as wide as possible, and that our full-backs became wing-backs when we had the ball, to stretch them because their two wide players tucked in really narrow, which then would stretch them, which it did, which then would create space for Kurt to get on the ball, or Mitch or Ross, and all three had a really good second half. But it also allowed us to isolate 1v1 that we did with Iffy a couple of times, but we did with Lewis for the first goal. So it was very much that, constructive, a little bit of tactical change, but players, I think how many times we've had a clean sheet at half time, we're going to be in the better team second half, and if we keep doing that, making sure we're hard to score against, we know we're going to get stronger as the game goes on.
So obviously it's easy to, when it's a bit of a dull game at times, to criticise the attack, but how pleased were you with the defence keeping that another clean sheet?
Yeah, I think they did. I'm pleased with Elliot. I think the last 2 games, Elliot says he's dropped below his best standards, but today I thought he was excellent. I thought Chaz was good again, really consistent. He's a really consistent player. Lemo playing out of position, played 3 games in a week after 14 weeks out. It's just the mentality of him and his desire to do well. Bailey, first half was a big couple of wrong decisions diving in, but second half he didn't, and he really composed in his defending. So it was good, and I thought Ben Townsend, he didn't really have a lot saved to make, but I thought his starting position was great for those balls over the top, and the number of times he sweeped up, took the pressure off the players, and his kicking against the wind was first class. So yeah, the back five were excellent, but it comes from us midfield giving us that base, and as front three working really hard to pressure the ball or to trap their runners. So as a 14 who came on, I'm really pleased they got a clean sheet.
So next up, it's Lincoln United. We've talked about having to face them again. Obviously, it was a very disappointing result that kind of was the catalyst for this run we've been on. What do you think about going away to them on Tuesday night?
Yeah, tough game, good side. I think their league position is a little bit false. They've picked up. They were really good against us. They had really good against us in the way that they played. They had a clear way of playing. They scored a last-minute winner, which was disappointing. So I've set the sort of target of the players not to lose 2 games to any side in this league. So this is our first opportunity to not let that happen. We'll be going there. We're not going to have any excuses being a midweek away trip. We'll go there with the right mentality and we'll aim for all 3.
Thanks very much, Ian.
Cheers, Adam. Thank you.